today I'm gonna give you the top 5 suburbs around Killeen that are great places to live, and they're good alternatives if you don't want to live in Killeen proper. And I'm gonna talk about some of the other things involved, like the crime rate and the average price of a house in those areas, so you can get an idea of if these places are even really a good option for you and your family. My name is Stephen Harris. I'm a dual licensed mortgage loan originator and real estate broker. All I do all day is help homebuyers and homeowners make good decisions about their real estate goals. I'm located in the Fort Cavazos area, so if you plan to relocate here or out of here, give me a call. I would love to hear your story and help with your real estate goals. All right, let's get into the thing. So number 1 on my list, and this is probably my personal favorite because I went to high school here, that is Harker Heights. Now you'll hear me also say that Harker Heights and Killeen are 2 sides of the same coin because they are so very close to one another that at times you do not know if you're in Harker Heights or if you are in Killeen. But for those of us that want to live in the Harker Heights area, I got a few things here for you. The average tax rating in Harker Heights is actually a little bit lower. It's coming in at around the 1.75%. Harker Heights definitely gives you that more suburban feel. It has a population of around 40,000, a little bit under 40,000 the last time we checked. And the median home price right now at the time of this recording in Harker Heights is $320,000. So it is kind of the bougie suburb of Killeen because Killeen's median house price right now is about $247,000. So there's a pretty big difference there, right? Taxes are a little lower in Harker Heights, but houses are way more expensive. Harker Heights crime rates, let's go check it out. Safer than about 31% of U.S. cities. Violent crime per 1,000 residents is still well below the median for Texas at 2.23. The median for Texas is 4.32. So still one of the safest places in Texas that you can be. Crime rates are pretty solid, but somebody's still likely to break in your car or mess your house up. And the good thing about Harker Heights is it's been growing in popularity and housing prices. So it grew about 4.4% year over year, and it has some of the best eating options in the area. You can't beat a couple of those Harker Heights restaurants. And it's also got the only Target in the area is in Harker Heights. So, that's that. Next one is Copperas Cove, and that's gonna still be about 15 to 20 minutes away from Fort Cavazos. If you're commuting, there is a really easy access to a gate from Copperas Cove. It is a very beautiful small town. It's got about 30,000 residents, so it's not very big. Like I said before, there are 2 grocery stores there and probably all the fast food that you can eat in your life. But it definitely gives you that smaller, quieter feel. So Harker Heights feels more like a suburb. Copperas Cove feels more like a smaller country town. And Copperas Cove, let's look at those crime rates. So total crime index, safer than 21% of U.S. cities, kind of low on that total crime index, but it sees most of that is property crime. And for the violent crime, it is still below the median, but compared to some of the other ones we just looked at, it is higher than those others. So let's keep that in mind when we are choosing our place to live. If we're looking at Copperas Cove for safety, then those other areas actually seem to beat it out. And as far as property taxes, they are averaging at about 1.57 with a median home price of $255,000 at the time of this recording. Copperas Cove is a great option. One of the things that I'm not loving about Copperas Cove lately is the fact that all of the new developments have HOAs, homeowners associations. And that really sucks because a lot of the reasons that people move out there is for freedom, space, and affordability. And HOAs just kind of crap in the face of all that. Still a really, really good option if you want to be close to base, but not in Killeen. All right, Nolanville is a very, very small country town. It has a population of only around 5,000 residents. It's right on the outside of Harker Heights, in between Harker Heights and the Belton area. The homes here are absolutely beautiful with a median price of around $329,000. So again, it's another pricey alternative to Killeen. And that seems to be the trend here, is if you want to get outside of Killeen, you're going to end up having to pay a premium to do that. In Nolanville, one of my favorite neighborhoods in the area is out there. It is Bella Charka. And why I like that neighborhood, one, it's super expensive, but all of the homes in that neighborhood are different. There's like no cookie cutter homes. And with the suburban sprawl that has happened in this area, there's a lot of cookie cutter, like you can move to one side of the town and get the exact same house on the other side. Or if you ride down the street, all the houses tend to look alike in some of these areas. Bella Charka is nothing like that. And then as far as the more affordable neighborhoods there, they can get a little cookie cutter, but they offer a little bit more yard and a little bit more square footage. So Nolanville is a good option. You're still gonna have to go into Harker Heights or out to the Temple Belton area in order to have like most of your resources, but it is growing. It is growing. They have a couple more restaurants there, but it's a really, really good option if you wanna be super close to base, but tiny little town, you're gonna have to pay a premium for it. So Nolanville doesn't even have a grocery store. You gotta go to Harker Heights for that. So that just lets you know like how tiny that town is. Next one on our list is Temple. So Temple's got roughly 85,000 people. And really from Fort Cavazos, it's a solid 30 to 40 minute drive, just depending on where you are in Temple. If you're in the farthest north end of Temple, then yeah, it's gonna take you about 40 minutes to get there. If you're closer south, then it's gonna take you more like 30 minutes. But Temple is a good option. What I think really drives Temple's economy is the medical industry and the colleges there. So they have wonderful hospitals and they have a couple really good schools. Also, there are some better job opportunities for people that are not military in Temple. So what I see a lot is my military families move here and they'll live in either Killeen or Harker Heights, but one of the family members that is not active duty will work in the Temple area. That's been like a really common trend. So for a lot of people, it is easier to just move to Temple. So if like the husband has to drive on base, a lot of times they would like their wife to like have a shorter commute. So they'll live in Temple. He'll have the long commute. She'll have the short commute. Okay, crime stats for Temple. Total crime index, 21. So safer than 21% of U.S. cities. As you can see, most of that again is in property crime. And when it comes to violent crime, it is still below the median for Texas, but not too far below. Seems like some of the other places that we're looking at have a better rating when it comes to this, but they're also smaller in population. Something to think about when considering Temple. You'll like Temple. I'm all right with Temple, but I'm still more of a Killeen guy. Oh, and the housing market, it's a little bit more competitive in Temple. So you might find yourself in a multiple offer situation on some of the homes in Temple. So keep that in mind. And it's also seeing a lot more HOAs. So that's just something to be mindful of. You do have a high likelihood of falling into an HOA if you buy a home in Temple. But it's got these beautiful mid-century homes that are just amazing. So I'm seeing people go in and update and modernize those. If you're one of those people that wants an older house with character that's gonna maintain and grow in value and it's worth you adding the money to, then I say definitely go out to Temple for that. The historic Temple district has so many good houses and there's still opportunity for you to buy one cheap. And the next one is Temple's little brother, Belton. Belton, it's about 25,000 residents. It's maybe 25 to 30 minutes away from base. It's located right off the highway and it is growing. Like it is a fast growing little town. They're building a lot of new developments there. The county courthouse is actually out in Belton. Hopefully you don't have to spend a lot of time there. All right, let's look at some quick crime stats for Belton. Pretty low on the total crime index, safer than 18% of U.S. cities. And then the other thing I like to look at is violent crime. The national median is right around 4, and Texas, the median is 4.32, but for Belton, it's only 1.6. So that still feels very safe to me. Home prices in Belton are still a little high, especially compared to Killeen. So it's right about $356, and it definitely depends on what side of Belton you live on, because Belton has lake access. And so there are a lot of homes on the lakes out there, but there's a lot of opportunity for people who like that water life it's a lake town. So out in Belton, you'll kind of get all the nature you can stand. And I think that's why the house prices are a little bit higher there, because they do have some more high-end houses that are out there by the lake. The newer developments, the housing prices aren't as bad. You can still find something really good in Belton under the 300,000 mark. You just got to do a little bit of hunting. And then downtown Belton is growing like crazy. It's one of those things that I feel like it didn't even exist a few years back. And now if you go, you can actually walk around, check out some of the shops. It's a good place for a date night. It's solid, and that's only gonna grow from there. So I really like Belton as an opportunity for somebody who's gonna come and stay. And if you're coming and looking for a fast flip, housing market can be a little slow there right now. So I would say be mindful of that. But if you're coming to stay, and it's another opportunity for you to kind of grab an older house that will increase in value over time, and with some work, Belton is a really, really good option. I like Belton a lot. If you're moving to the Fort Cavazos area and you want some help with any of these cities, or Killeen, or anywhere else further in the outskirts, because there are more options a little bit further out. But if you notice the trend, the further you get from the city, then the more pricey it gets. And also the closer you start to get to Waco, or you start to get to Austin, then the more pricey things get. And for a lot of my military people, it doesn't make sense for them to drive an hour and have a house that is almost $200,000 more expensive. So for my money-minded people, I think these are some really, really good options, because you can get a great place, you cannot be in Killeen, and you can get to work fairly easy. If you need help with any of these, I'm here. Would love to hear your story, talk about your situation, and help you make a good decision when it comes to your real estate goals. Thanks for spending a little bit of time here with me today. There's plenty more videos for you to watch, like this one over here. YouTube thinks that you will love it. So go check it out. Thank you for your time, and I will see you on the next one.